Hello friends. So now we are discussing post-colonial literatures. So we know what post-colonial literature means. Post-colonial writings means that is literature produced in countries which were formerly colonies, either of Britain or some other European powers. This we saw actually. And now we saw also the special character of post-colonial texts. Why do they have a special character? We saw a few reasons. One of them is, a few reasons we saw, one of them you can see is they were a dominated people, then the subjugation, then the imported language, place, different places, the difference in place, the difference in economics and politics, the difference in the different kinds of influence. Say for example, syncreticity development and then hybridity, and we also saw that the pockets of resistance became finally open struggle for independence, as we already saw in Kantapura and Rajarava's Kantapura, and subaltern feelings and adjustment problems, lots of things we have already seen. Okay, so today what we are going to do is that in our second lecture we will think about what are the models. How can we enter into this vast and varied literature that we call this amorphous group, we can say amorphous group. No? The English writings outside Britain. So you can see it in America, Canada, then you will find it in New Zealand, Australia, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, India, Bangladesh, then Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all the SAARC countries you can see, isn't it? So that's a kind of amorphous grouping. But then how are you going to get into this? There has to be some way out. Therefore, these people, the three authors that we have seen, the triumvirate we can say, Bill Ashcroft, Gareth Griffiths and Helen Tiffin. So they have proposed 4 models to approach this post-colonial literature. And these 4 models are, first one is national or regional. National, not or, but national, regional you can say. National and regional or regional you can say. And second one is, what we saw is comparative models, comparative models. And the third is comparative models. Third is race-based models, race-based, like black writing based, race-based models. And the fourth one is, and then in addition to this there are some other some minor models that we will see later as we go on. These are the 4 major models, and that is studying certain aspects that you find in all post-colonial writings, not only in national or regional or a race. They are syncretism and hybridity. In all, which you will find in all post-colonial literature. So stressing that aspect, special aspect. These are the 4 models suggested by Bill Ashcroft, Gareth Griffiths, difficult to pronounce that name, sorry, Griffiths, and then Helen Tiffin. Okay, now so national, regional models, this means you study a national literature. So for example, America, Canada, Australia, Nigeria, national, and then you study. Regional means there are certain areas where you have no nationhood. No nationhood, as for example, West Indies. You cannot say it is a nation. South Pacific, it's not a nation. Caribbean, it's not a nation, but it's a region you can say. So that is regional means. Comparative models means compare white writing with white, black writing with white, black, and also white with black and black with white. So these are different models. The race-based models means especially that's about black writing. Black writing you can have, see, where there is a white majority and black minority, like America. There's black writing there. Or you'll find only black, it's a black majority. That is in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, so you find. So, or you can also say Europeans writing about the blacks. That also can be included in this. Race-based models. And then you have got syncretism and syncretism. Yesterday, you remember I told you what is syncretism means opposing things coming together. See, a bond between the opposing things is syncretism. For example, as I told you the other day, that is capitalism and communism, they are opposing. But suppose you have a capitalism, then that is syncretism. There is no such word capitalism, but you can make one. Why can't we make one? Put it in inverted commas. And then that would be called a portmanteau word. That is a hybrid, a portmanteau word. That itself is a hybrid also. So you take in that. Like you have got a breakfast and lunch, brunch. So this is capitalism plus that is communism is capitalism. I mean that's just an example for that. But hybridity means you are taking two qualities, different belonging to two different things. For example, you have got T into D, no? Tall and dark, dwarf. You cross, then you will get the T into D variety of coconut sapling. You will get it. Understand? That is T into D. Or you can think about animals, crossbreed. So crossbreeds, they are not opposing each other. There is no kind of opposition. Or sometimes you will find in religious syncretism. You will find, see, Judaism and Christianity. And you find a lot of things borrowed from Christianity, has borrowed many points, many ideas from Judaism. So when you put together, that is syncretism, not hybrid. Because there it is, both are opposing. Because Judaism believes only in one God, but Christianity believes in, Christian theology is one God but three persons. So you can see how different it is. A Jew can never digest this idea of one God, three persons. See, but on the other hand, they always think about, they have only monotheism, nothing else. So that's why even now some Jews, they are still thinking, they are still waiting for the Messiah to come. And those things are about Christian theology, don't worry about that. So that is difference between syncretism and hybridity. Understand? Hybrid. So you will find these two qualities too in all the post-colonial literatures. Okay? These four models. Now we will take one by one, isn't it? But another very important thing before entering into these models, you should not think that these are watertight compartments. So these are only general assumptions. For example, sometimes what happens is, in one model itself, many other models may be operating. Say, I'll give you an example. American. Let's take the American model as a national model. A national model, national or regional we said. American is national because America is a nation, independent nation. So the literature produced there is American literature. So it's a national literature. Now, when you are studying this, this is the major model we say is national. But you will find white, you will find black. Because in America you have got blacks there. And in America there are whites there. So they will be influencing, isn't it? Or there will be, of course, syncretism. Syncretism will be there. And there will be hybrid also. Hybrid also you will find. And you will find multicultural influences. For example, it's called a melting pot. America is called a melting pot. And Canada is a salad bowl. That's how it is known. So, you have got influences. German influence, see? Or Italian influence, or Greek influence, you will find here. In addition to this, you got the point. So, when you say national model, that doesn't mean it is race-based. Race can come in. These different qualities can come in. Region can come in. See that? Regional. Here also you find the regions, different regions, no? Regions. Influence of regions you will find. Influence of this you will find. Right? So don't think that, or if you take Nigeria or Kenya, you will find whites, black, syncretism, hybridity. So things you will find there. So don't think that when you are talking about the national model or regional model, that's exclusive or watertight. No, not at all. Because several, you can see now, say number of them operating simultaneously you will find. Several of this will be operating simultaneously one. That's what I said, these are only assumptions. So these are, so please remember, these four models are only assumptions. Yes. Assumptions, why? Because as we have already said, these sometimes many models will be operating simultaneously. That's the reason. Understand? So we have seen today so far four models, and they are not watertight compartments we saw. So now what are we going to do is, we will be today taking up national and probably if there is time, regional models. And national model is the first national model, national literature, the first national literature which is of significance, we can say, which has laid the foundations of post-colonial literature, that we can say, the American literature. It's the American literature, the American variety of literature. American is so economically powerful, politically powerful, and then you can say global power. See that? So their literature naturally, if a country is powerful, their literature also will be powerful. So we know that 1776, at the bar of independence, America became an independent country, an independent nation, a great republic, democratic republic. And then their growth, their position in this world, etc., have added importance and significance to the language and literature. The language, that is English, of course, and the literature that they produced. To begin with, what they did was, they tried some important forms like the Gothic novel. Gothic novel like Wuthering Heights, Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff and Catherine, so the famous characters, Gothic type and sentimental type of novels. So Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, Emma. So they tried this, and the person who did some major work in this is indigenizing important models. That is the British models. And Charles Brockden Brown, that's his name, Charles Brockden Brown. So he made experiments with this. Whether we can use the British variety or British forms, whether we can boldly import from England to America. I found that it's not working. It's not working in a way because the difference in place, the difference in the ambience, so to say, you can say. The difference in climate. See, the difference in the way people live, the cultural difference. Okay, that also you can say. Because as we have already seen that America is considered to be a melting pot. That means people from all European countries you will find that, and the Asian countries also. So naturally what happens, this is something which is alien to England. England is comparatively, not now of course, but comparatively you have got to the English people, the British people there. But not America or Canada or any colonies for that matter. So Charles Brockden Brown's his experiments with the British forms of literature practically did not become fruitful. I don't want to say very pessimistic and say that it was a failure. I don't want to say that because it was not a failure. He tried his best. So what happened? He turned to indigenous ways of writing. And that is their own way of writing. their own, they introduced their own genre, for example, or forms of literacy, their own forms of novel, their own forms of short story, poetry. See that? You can see also the difference between, see, what is the Whitman's poems? Do you have any comparison in English poetry like that of Whitman? Walt Whitman is famous American poet. So you'll find that the difference you'll find. So what happened is that, they slowly cut their umbilical cord. That is, that thing that connecting England and America. And another very important point to note that America grew into a gigantic size in all respects. So naturally, what happened is their literature also, we can imagine like that. Therefore, they said, see, we have nothing to do with English literature, or British, or English literature. Now, therefore, they changed the adjective. English literature, they changed to American literature. American. And this is American literature. This is a turning point. A turning point. The first national literature is a turning point in the study and evaluation of post-colonial literature. It set the model for all the other post-colonial literatures. That is what we said, a self-constituting entity it became. Or as Soinga says, a process of self-apprehension. Soinga says it's a process of self-apprehension, leading to a self-constituting identity. Specific difference between the American and the English variety. So what happened? Independent literacy. And this is the turning point in the study of post-colonial literatures. So if this is the model for all the other literatures, if America had not developed into a American literature had not developed into a self-constituting entity with a specific difference, or as to use the phrase used by Soinga, self-apprehension, through a process of self-apprehension, had not cut the umbilical cord and become a separate entity, post-colonial study of post-colonial or analysis and examination of post-colonial literatures would have been very difficult. Now things have become very easy because of that. See that? So you can say unit like that. American, national, Australian, another national, Canadian, another national, New Zealand, another national, Nigeria, another national, yes. When you come to race, when you take up race-based studies, you will also say like that, because black writing and negritude, that is the black philosophy, yes, negritude. Their aesthetic, the rules, their critical theories and so on. That's different. Okay, so this is what happened. So the first and foremost, the fundamental point to remember is that separation from the motherlands, we can say. We can say, you can call it the motherlands, England, their motherland, separation. See that? And therefore, became an independent literacy. But before that, this relationship between American and British varieties, they used some metaphors like this. They said, American is child and British is father. So father and child, they said. Father, child. This relationship, they said. The relationship between American and England, father England and child America. Another metaphor they used is tree and branch. Tree and branch. What is tree here? Who is the tree? England. Branch is American. Third metaphor that they used is stream and tributary. Stream and tributary. So that's stream and tributary. Stream is England, tributary is America. And yet another, there is one more offshoot of the parent tree. Parent tree. So these are the metaphors used to describe the relationship between American and the British variety. Some say, in some sense, you can say, no? To an extent we can say like that. Father and child, that is tradition, child, and the age. Because this is a new form of criticism. So father is antique, old, no? And this is child, just born. Then tree and tree, yes, huge tree. The trunk, that is English literature. The branch is British, American literature. Stream and tributary. So there is a stream, then some supporting small streams. One such a supporting stream is this. And offshoot of the parent tree. It's again the same almost branch. So these are the metaphors. But after some time, as we have already seen, these metaphors would not stand to describe the relation. First of all, there is no relationship. You are independent. And then you became a national literature. So the first ever national model in post-colonial literature, the studies in post-colonial literature is the American variety of literature. Understand? Okay, that is clear to you, I suppose. No? So we can say development of national literatures is of fundamental significance in the study of this. Understand? But at the same time, you must understand, although they had a separate literature, I mean, there's not such things as American critical theory. American the critical theory, value judgments, aesthetics, etc., that is, it remained Eurocentric and it remains Eurocentric. For example, all this critical theory, right from Aristotle, then you have got Ars Poetica, Longinus on the sublime. Then when you come to England, you have got such great writers as Sir Philip Sidney, isn't it? The defense of poesy. And you have got Dryden, John Dryden, Wordsworth, Shelley. So what happens is this, the critical theories or the assessments, value judgments made by British criticism, that is valid in the case of American literature also. So you cannot say totally independent. Still it remains Eurocentric. Of course, you can think of tradition and individual tradition. This is England and America, isn't it? As far as T.S. Eliot is concerned, both. Yes, see that. So born in America, but he grew up as a literary figure in England. So his theories, we can say, still it is valid. It's valid both in England and in America. So you can say critical theories, the aesthetic principles, value judgments, for these things, American literature, even today, depends on European theories of literature and philosophy also. This binaries, which of course was deconstructed by Derrida. That's a different story. We don't enter into that today. Okay? Is that clear to you? So national variety. And then of course you have got the regional varieties. Regional varieties are, because you cannot call them nation. The West Indies, for example. West Indies. The West Indies. And then you have got South Pacific. South Pacific. And you have got Caribbean. So these are regional varieties, call them region. See, for example, this you have got the West Indies where you don't have they tried a federation but did not will not become fruitful. They have a wonderful cricket team, they have a university also, but West Indies is considered to be a region. Same with South Pacific, they have a university, but still not a nation, you cannot say it's a nation. It's a region. And also Caribbean literature, that is a region. Understand? So these are the regional varieties. They have also, for example, they have their own independence and they have their own self-constituting element in them. But at the same time, we must understand that, as I have already told you, for critical theories and value judgments, they think of, or they probably, you cannot say depend, but they draw from European theories and European aesthetics. Understand? So this is the first model, we can say. That is national and regional models. Other national models are there. You are just taking up as an example of the American, and the other regional models also are there. But here again stressing the importance of region, because it is not a nation. That's why it's a regional, national or regional model. Australian is a national model. Canadian is a national model. We can say New Zealand is a national model. See, Nigeria and so on and so forth, you find that. But for the time being, you understand what is meant by a national or regional model of post-colonial literature or post-colonial writing. I hope that you have followed me. So the main points we have so far seen, just a quick review of this. What is post-colonial literature means? Post-colonial literature, the writings, they have a special quality. What is the special quality? Why? That we saw. We saw 4 models, and these models are one is national or regional, second model is comparative, third is race-based, and fourth is stressing or emphasizing certain special characteristics found in all post-colonial literatures, that is syncretism and hybridity. And there are also some minor models like language and place, like language and culture and so on. Those are kind of minor models are there that we'll see. First we took up the first one, that is American. It's a national model, the first national model, very powerful, and we saw that there was a kind of a self-constituting entity it has become, so it has probably nothing to do except critical theory, and how the relationship has been described. You can see parent and child, tree and branch, offshoot of the parent tree, and also you saw stream and tributary, but of course these days it does not have much importance. And we also saw that the attempt by Charles Brockden Brown failed to indigenize imported fonts or the British fonts like the Gothic novel and the sentimental novels. Understand? Sentimental variety. So I think that you are following me, you are following me. Let's see again. We'll have some more lectures on this. We will continue this until then. Till we meet again. Bye. Take things easy. Okay.